Today, I'm rolling up the yoga mat because I'm going to take you through a sequence that you can do at your desk with no yoga mat, no equipment, and in sort of office attire. I've tried to go as officey as I possibly could find in my wardrobe. I think this will suffice. It's kind of like I'm not wearing anything stretchy. My top's a little stretchy, but like, I just want to prove to you that you can address tension from a chair. And I'm going to show you how so that you guys have your own sequence that you can do and follow along to when you're at the desk, when you're studying at uni, wherever you happen to be. I want you to be able to access it from the confines of a chair and a desk. I'm just going to pull a chair in and let's get started. Oh, and if you've never been here before, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe because I release videos every Wednesday and Thursday. I mean, every Wednesday and Sunday. I don't know why I said that. Okay, so this sequence is designed to give you some space between stress that you might be experiencing at work, but also the tension that can start to come up in our body when we're sort of sitting in the same position for a long period of time. I want to reiterate before we begin that there's no such thing as bad posture. There's just posture that we've spent too long a time in or too much repetition in, and that's where it starts to get imbalanced or create imbalances in the body. This is no worse than this. It just depends upon the time. The only thing that's arguably worse about this is that the further my head gets from the center of my gravity and the further away it gets from my hips, particularly if I'm standing, the heavier it becomes in terms of how my spine has to carry it. One of the benefits of kind of stacking our joints is that we are a little bit more in harmony with gravity and there's not so much load on the spine. So a couple of the exercises that we're going to do are going to address that. We're actually going to begin with some neck release. What we're going to do is I'm going to turn the chair, of course it's a squeaky chair, to the side. You're going to take your hands down, grab hold of the base of your chair. If you can't grab it, you're in an office chair, you can go under your thighs, or you could sit at the edge of your chair and grab hold here. Now what we're going to do is just hold on so that we can create some tension in the neck. So we're isolating the rotation we do through the neck. Drop the chin down to the chest, and then from here I'm going to take my chin over to the left collarbone, and then I'm going to come back down and move over to the right collarbone. To the left and to the right. And I invite you to close your eyes if you've done this sequence a few times. If you're still watching me, that's okay. To the left, to the right. Maybe take a couple of reps with your eyes closed. Now we're going to build on the movement here. So now I'm going to come around to the center, lift the chin all the way, bring my ear down to the left side, start to move my chin up towards the ceiling, take the ear to the other side, turn the chin down, and then come back to center. We'll go the other side, chin, lift the head, ear down, chin up, only go as far back as you can handle, other side, ear to shoulder, turn the chin, and come back to center. Two more, let's go. Over to the side, lift the head. So really trying to turn the head here. Ear, chin up, around, other ear comes to the shoulder. We turn the chin down to the right collarbone and we come back to center. Let's go again. Right collarbone, lift the head, ear to shoulder, chin goes up. We go to the other side with the ear, turn the chin down, and then come back to center, lifting the head. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to cross our arms over our chest like so. Now I have to be careful because I've got a microphone right here, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cross it here, but you guys know that you're going shoulder, shoulder, okay? So really kind of like wrapping around. I'm just going to go like this because I don't want to muck up my mic. I'm going to go down, I'm going to twist, I'm going to come up and around, over to the side, and then back to center. I won't speak, but I'll just show you. Okay, so as you do this, we're trying to keep the pelvis nice and still, and we're just doing thoracic spine rotations all the way around. Just getting some fluidity for the area that's probably been a little bit stuck while we've been stuck in this position. All the way around. Good. And then coming back to center. From here, we're going to take a side stretch. So what I want you to do, hold on to, just kind of maybe separate your legs a little bit so that you feel a bit sturdy. And I'm just going to hold on to the inside of the chair. My left arm is going to come up. I'm going to start to reach over to the side here a little bit. So we get a stretch for the side, lengthening here. Look down to the floor, reach away. Now, as I'm reaching away, I'm going to turn my hand, my pinky to the ceiling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my fingertips towards the floor as I lengthen away. And then I'm going to take that arm up and over again, coming forward and unrolling back up. Let's go to the other side. Take it up and over. Look down, reach away, turn the palm to face out as your pinky and all your fingers face to the ground. Back over, and we bring it back up to center. Okay, now we're going to come into a standing position. So I'm just going to use the chair for balance, but what I want to do is a normal quadricep stretch. But the difference here is that when I see people do quad stretches, a lot of the time they do this. And the problem with this is that I might be getting a mild quad stretch, but what really makes the difference is the positioning of your pelvis. So what we're going to do is tuck the pelvis, tuck the tailbone, and pull the heel in towards your buttocks, but almost like you're kind of, if I had both feet on the ground, I'd be like that. Yeah, so I want to be thinking about drawing the belly in and up. My pubic bone almost wants to turn up towards like an imaginary belt buckle here, okay? I'm squeezing my glutes. I'm keeping my ribs down. I'm not going into a big back bend. Good, changing sides. The reason that we want to make sure that we're not doing that is because when we're sitting in a chair, often we're compressing through the hips here quite a bit. So this area gets a little bit undernourished in terms of movement and in terms of just stretching in general. Now, we grab that leg, we think about our pelvic positioning, tucking the tailbone, ribs down, breathe here. Pulling the heel in towards me. Okay, and then slowly release. We can come back into the chair. Hopefully no one found that too weird or awkward. Okay, next I'm going to get into the hips. Now if you're wearing a skirt, you might find this one a little harder, particularly if it's like a pencil skirt, but luckily in pants I'm okay here. I'm going to bring the leg up and cross it over my knee. And from here I'm going to lengthen out of the hip here. Now, you may feel it quite quickly that as you lengthen up and out and you tuck, kind of like push your pelvis into an anterior pelvic tilt where the top of the pelvis tips forward, that you immediately feel the stretch. If you don't already feel the stretch, push down on your right knee and start to lean forward a little bit more. What we don't want is just kind of like hanging out here. And even though some of you may feel a stretch here, I really want you to be thinking about staying long, and that's going to get you much better external rotation here. So we're just lengthening, inhale and exhale. Come back up and we'll change sides. Cross, lifting through the chest, push that knee down if it needs it, a little bit of help, and we're gonna lengthen out of the hips here. Like, I already feel a stretch. I did train legs only today, so I am feeling a little bit stiff already. But if you come into this and you're not feeling much, then lean forward and just minimize how much you're rounding through the lumbar spine. So not this. We want to be long, and then we start to come forward. It's almost like we want our ribs to go over our shin here, staying nice and long. Beautiful. And then we're going to come back up and release. Now we're going to address the wrists. A lot of the time they're stuck like this. They're not doing any of the rotation capabilities that they should be, and this can be actually quite harmful over time. So we're going to do, again, controlled articular rotations like we did for the neck. So we have to isolate the joint. You're going to take your left hand, grab hold of your forearm so that we can keep these two bones still, the radius and the ulnar. We want to hold them still, and we want to extend out our palm. Now from here, I'm going to tuck my hand in, I'm going to take it out to the side, one side, I'm then going to point my fingertips to the floor, I'm going to go to the other side, and then I'm going to come back up to center. And what I'm trying to do is draw a circle with my hands here, or with my fingers. Like imagine you had a pen tip on the end, and we're just going around in circles. Now what I want you to notice is like, is everything else moving with you? We want to be able to develop an isolated capacity here to move this joint around in circles. And this is not just for stretch capacity, right? This is actually for our neurological connection to these different areas. All right, release, and we'll change sides. So hold on, keeping the radius and ulnar still. Let's bring it up first, take it out to the side, move down and all the way around. Keep going. It doesn't seem like much when you're doing it, but over time, and if you're finding this particularly difficult, just know that with a bit more practice, you're going to get better. Over time, this is where a lot of the injuries can come from, when we lose our range of motion on these particular areas. Good, come back to center and just relax. Now from here, I'm going to use my chair to just get a little bit of a flexion stretch here for my wrists, or extension actually. So I'm going to turn the palms to face up, pushing down here. And we're just going to close the eyes, and we're just taking 3 breaths while we're in this stretch. So take a deep breath in, full breath out, big breath in, full breath out. Last one, inhale and exhale. See if you can go a little bit further into the stretch, and then we'll just release it. Okay, now we've got to go into some flexion. So I'm going to turn the palms to face down onto the chair, and I'm going to turn my fingers to face me, and from here I'm stretching out my forearms a little bit. I'm just going to take a deep breath in, breath out, elbows pointing towards me. I'm trying to push the heel of the hand down towards the chair. Now again, you don't have to do this on the chair. You could do this standing up on your desk. You just need a flat surface. I'm just trying to keep you off the ground, because I know many of you were like, I'm at uni, or I'm at my desk, or I'm at my place of work, and I can't just kind of like start dropping down and doing a bunch of yoga on the floor. So I hear you, and this is the sequence for that. Okay, slowly release. Okay, nice little shake out here. What we're going to do is finish off with a little bit of a twist, but we're going to use the help of the chair. So I'm going to sit on my chair, wherever you are, whether you're an office chair, whatever you're on, you can still do this. So come to sit at the edge of the chair. We want to use let's say the left hand on the outside of the right leg, and then grab hold of the chair wherever you can. If you grab the top, you can even just place your hand on the bottom, but we're going to use that to help us get some leverage to do this twist. Now as you come into the twist, what I want you to be doing is pushing the right hip forward. So as I roll the right hip around towards the back of the chair, I'm also pushing simultaneously my hip forward. This is really, really important, guys. So make sure you do that part. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good, come back to center, and we'll take it to the other side. So find your position, the position that works for you, hand on the outside. Want feet flat, push the hip forward, left hip is pushing forward as the left shoulder is moving around to the back. Breathing in, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Nice. Last but not least, I want to work on this retraction, and it's probably the least sexy of all of them. But what I want you to be doing is just sit wherever you need to on the chair. I'm just sitting like this so I can show you the position of my neck. This is where we end up, okay? So these neck retractors are getting a little bit weak, okay? Just from our everyday posture as human beings these days, living in a modern society. Or let's say, not living in a modern society, just living kind of like for the devices. So what we want to do is sit up nice and tall, and I want you to start to imagine you have someone's hand on the back of your head. You want to push back into their hand. Okay, so you can even do it with your own hand. Just think about pushing back into your hand. Or you can think about chin pulling back, creating a double chin. So down and then retraction. Down and then retraction. Retraction. Just the neck. For another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Drop the chin to the chest. Take it around in a circle. Go the other way. And come back up to center. There you have it. Something that you can do from your chair. Of course, if you find that you're tighter in certain areas, stay longer in those positions. But whatever you do, don't just kind of like skip doing this kind of sequence. Come back to it anytime you need it, need a reminder, need a kind of break from the stress, break from whatever you're doing to just reset and then come back in and get back to work. Guys, if you have serious neck tension, it's really important that you do more than just a little tiny office sequence. Now, I created that so that it would kind of address your tension temporarily, but when you get home tonight, whenever you get a moment and you don't have to do something at the desk, try out one of my other sequences and focus on the area that you think needs work. The other thing I will say is if you're having repeated physical body issues where you're constantly feeling like tense in the neck, you have to know that sometimes it's not a case of stretching it out, it's actually about strengthening. If you're not doing any work to strengthen your upper back muscles, or any of your back muscles really, or your glutes, then you can start to have pain, tension, muscular imbalances that start to exacerbate that pain and tension. And over time, this just really can't be addressed, as I said, with stretching. This has to be addressed with both mobility work, but also strength work. If you don't have time to get to a gym, I would highly encourage you check out my Virtue Method 2.0 program. It's a home weight training program, and I just know that it is going to change your life, as it has done for many other Virtue crew members that are doing it. It's a once-off program, so I say members, but I call everyone member just because if you've done one of my workouts before, particularly if you've done one of my programs, you are a part of the crew, and I call you a member. But it is just a once-off purchase, so once you have it, you guys have it for life, and you can revisit it, repeat it as much as you need. In order for a program to be successful, in order for you guys to get results, you need to have things like, progressive overload. You need to make sure that the exercise selection is balanced in a way that's working the front of your body, the back of your body, the side, working different movement patterns. And so in this particular program, I've done that all for you. All you have to do is hit play, start from week 1, and just get on with it. There's an amazing Facebook community that you can join as well. We talk about all things fitness. I do live Zoom conversations with you guys, so I can chat through anything that you're struggling with in the program, and so that you can just feel motivated overall to keep training and keep taking care of your amazing body. All right, I'll see you on the mat soon.